Okay, so y'all, we're back. Vibe Lytical. I guess it's the pop-up 10 extended after party version. So I think we figured it out. So we were going to play this on during the pop-up, but we got it figured out now with the sound. So let's roll the tape.
There's this woman, her name is Tabitha Brown. Oh, you know her? Clap if you know her. Okay, good. I don't know her. Well, she's an influencer and she's saying that she's retiring her husband. He's been a police officer for 15 years and he wants to live out his dreams. Take a look.
I have said to him, babe, it's time. It's time. It's time for him to dream again. It's time for him to think like a child and think, ooh, when I grow up, what do I want to be? And it's something else. It's time for a new journey, a new chance at life, right? And God has blessed us. He has blessed me that I can retire my husband.
Look at her salty face.
Nope. I was married to one of those. You know, I make the money and so on and so forth. Go live your dreams, buy a business, you know, stay with me, but go. You see how that turned out. I predict that this marriage is going to be on real rocky ground in a moment. Live your dream. Then they invest in stuff and they lose the money. And then they invest in something else and the money gets swindled or stolen. Then they invest again. Then he comes home and throws his bag down. And he's like, and she's like, what? And he's like, I can't do this. And this is your fault. You know, you're over here making all your money and stuff. You had me quit my job and I can't find my live like a child. No, but you understand what I'm saying? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, no, you work. Being a cop was a big part of his identity. He liked it, but she came to him and said that. Clap if you understand what I'm saying.
The pain this woman must be in. Wendy, the pain you must be in to feel this way, and I'm so sorry. But listen, let me tell you this. 23 years I've been with my husband. Yes.
Yes.
Broke for a very long time together. Struggled for a very long time together. Succeeded for the last couple of years together, right? My husband took a job in agreement with me. He took a job 15 years ago to help support my dream. And I know you may not know what that looks like in a genuine place, right? But this was an agreement that my husband and I had. And I told him 15 years ago, oh, babe, in 5 years, I'll be able to take you out of there so then you can pursue one of your dreams that you love. Right now, I was his dog in the fight, okay? And he believed in me. And we did it together for the last 15 years. I did every year with him at LAPD, and he did every year with me with rejection and no's in this entertainment industry, right? However, God has blessed me. He has allowed me to manifest. I've been praying on this for a very long time, and it has now come to pass. That is the power of God. It's also the power of allowing God to be first in your marriage, okay? And that is how it remains successful. We keep him first. He is first in our marriage, not money, not business, not success, but God. He's first, okay? So this is my prayer for you. I pray that love finds you, true love. I pray it finds you and it holds you tight. I pray that someone will love you enough to see you when you are not well, to see you when you need true support, to see you when you need compassion, to see you when you need kindness. I pray that somebody loves you enough to sacrifice their life for you. I pray that type of love finds you so that you can understand why I don't want my husband to put his life on the line anymore wearing a bulletproof vest if he don't have to. And if that's not his desire, I love him enough that I want him to be safe and I want him to coach children the way he wants to. Ooh, I pray that somebody finds you, love finds you, that excites you the way I am excited about my husband being able to grow his business, being able to pour into children, continue to coach these kids, do other things he's dreamt about. Ooh, honey, I pray this type of excitement and love finds you and anybody else who seems to not understand this. I pray that type of love finds you. Sacrifice, compassion, like I really do. I really, really do. Okay. And I want you, whoever is watching, who understands the type of love, let us all pray for people like Miss Wendy and others who have either been so hurt or never found a genuine love that fills their heart with so much compassion and joy. Let us all pray that they find that and that it finds them. Yes, very good. Now, I want y'all to go on about your business, okay? And have the most amazing day. But even if you can't have a good one, don't you dare go messing up nobody else's here. God bless you. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye, y'all.
Oh, I love her. I love her so much. I love her so much. Oh.
That was amazing. Simply amazing.
Oh.
I don't even know what to say.
There's nothing to say. Like
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now that I saw it again, because I saw it the one time and I was like, wow, but
Mm-hmm.
watching it a second time, I was like, oh yeah, it was some I'm not saying it was never genuine, but like you really see, like she's concerned about Miss Wendy. She's
Yeah.
concerned about her, and she's like, I really want her to find it because she spoke from a place of malice.
Mm-hmm. And Tabitha showed her with grace and love and kindness that there is another way. It's one thing for somebody to tell you there's another way you could have dealt with that, but it's another thing for somebody to show you in dealing with you how you could deal with the situation. And she spoke to the hurt and the pain, which, caused, because that little chuckle that Wendy had, that sounded like that was some tears behind that, didn't it? That little chuckle, then he's going to do this, then this is going to happen. Did you hear the little chuckle? It was like,
Yeah, it was, and that was from a place of pain. That, like I said, that residual pain. Like I said earlier, of she's feeling the aftermath of that. She's so, when you've invested so much of your career, well, actually all of her career. If you think about, Kevin was a part of Wendy's entire career, actually. So when you get hurt like that and get slapped in the face, and you literally are sleeping around with a younger woman, who ain't even cute, by the way, no shade, just saying. But when you get with another woman and you're married to Wendy, she finds that out and literally has a baby by this other woman. Yeah, there's a lot of pain there. But how do you self-heal? By having a relationship with the Most High.
Definitely.
Because if you are depending on the money, the business, like she said, if you're depending on those things, then you're not going to be speaking from a place of love and a place of healing. She's going to be in a revolving door of pain if that's what she is going to keep, how she's going to seek getting better from this. She won't recover from this if she doesn't have the Most High.
I feel like the saddest part is a lot of people can relate to Wendy, and maybe I want to believe there's a lot of people that can relate to Tabitha as well. But I want to speak for a second to the people that relate to Wendy and say that, like, the saddest part is it sounds like she don't believe in love no more. I'm like, what kind of life is that? where you don't believe that you can have that love or you're deserving of that love, or in relation to somebody that you do love, wanting them to be able to make their dreams come true or to be part of making their dreams come true. I feel like that's kind of sad. Like, I will never give up on love.
Yeah,
On the idea of love.
Right. And I think for me, when I think about someone like Wendy Williams, I'm thinking about in order for you, she's given up on love, which in turns means that she doesn't love herself.
Mm.
And that's and that's the reason why I, like I told you and my other friends, that I'm on this self-love journey. So now when I get to a place of like, okay, I love myself enough that I have enough love sustained within me, so now I can venture out and bring someone else into my life and not have to depend on them for the love that I've already given myself.
Right.
And I always tell people this, that anyone that I get with is my enhancement. They are not my everything.
Amen.
There's no one. I don't care how great of an individual they are not my everything. Now, are you my enhancement? Are you my expansion of me, an extension of me? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. But I am my everything. Me.
Mm-hmm.
So until I feel like I'm at a place where I can do that, then but I'm not giving up on love though.
Right.
There's a difference because I'm seeking the Most High through my self-love journey. I'm like, Lord, like, what, show me the ways, show me the way that I need to go, guide me through this. But I'm not just giving up on love. And from the looks of it, like you said, it looks like Wendy has said, there's no more love left in me. So I don't think that there's any love out there anymore. So anyone else that is showing happiness, and that's what Tabitha showed. Tabitha showed genuine happiness for her husband retiring from the LAPD. Genuine happiness for that. So where in your mind did you feel the need to tear down someone else's happiness and make it about you? She didn't make it about her on that directly, but indirectly you did, because you put your situation onto Tabitha, and that's not how you do that.
But at the same time, though, we were saying this a little bit earlier when we brought it up, and we wanted to play the show, so we came back on just to play the little clip. But that's Wendy's brand. You know what I'm saying? That's her brand. Her brand is essentially dogging people out. And what we were saying earlier is that, this is the opportunity for her to change her brand and be the real person that, the people who work with her say that she is, that she's a kind individual. She's like an auntie figure, like you were saying earlier on the pop-up. It's time for that person to shine through, because if you're going to have the type of love that Tabitha Brown is talking about, I don't believe that you can have that if you're a nasty person. I don't believe you can have that if you coming at people's dreams or their plans. Like, if somebody's doing something and you clearly would want to be in their shoes, you should celebrate them. So I feel like my prayer is that Wendy takes this as an opportunity to rebrand herself so that she can move in the grace and space and the love that Tabitha Brown extended to her. Because what good is it when love is extended to you if you can't do nothing with it?
Ooh. And it really saddened me though, because when I see things like that, it kind of goes to what I said that Georgie mentioned about the fact of that information. Like, if you want to talk about the drama and the scandals that's going on in people's lives, that's one thing, because there's factual information to support the drama that you see, but you're creating a situation that doesn't exist, but you're creating a situation that's not rooted in fact and not rooted in evidence. There's not been one time where you have heard any scandal about a Chance Brown. So what made you think that what you said would carry weight when you don't even have information to support it?
Right.
That's where you went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's one thing to talk about scandals that are actually rooted in fact, because it's
Mm-hmm.
actually right there in your face. When you see a
Mm-hmm.
fight break out, when you get messages, when you get screenshots of flirting messages, or you get like once you start, you can create a dramatic situation off of stuff that you have. She had nothing tangible in this situation with Tabitha and Chance. She had nothing. So it backfired on her. That's what Everett said. It
Mm-hmm.
backfired on her because she said something out of malice when she didn't have anything to support it.
Mm.
You're just like, oh, girl, don't be doing all that. So that's what
Mm-hmm.
it backfired on her. It did, and I won't say that I don't feel bad for her because I do. I feel bad just more on in the essence of I feel bad that she had to stoop that low to attack somebody that was minding their own business.
I agree.
But the part that I don't feel bad for is the people that came for Wendy. All those avocados on Wendy's timeline. I loved it.
Mm.
You know how Beyonce got the bees on people's timeline. If you try to come for Beyonce,
Mm-hmm.
now Tabitha, this is avocados. So if you come for Tabitha Brown on
Mm.
your social media, just know you're gonna have avocados all over your social media defending Tabitha if you come for her. So uh, uh, Tabitha calls him her Tabbage Patch. She said, "That's my Tabbage Patch."
Mm.
Uh, so, but yeah. I feel for Wendy, and like you said, I'm definitely going to be praying for her to rebrand herself. And if she doesn't rebrand herself, that she finds the love that genuine love.
Yeah.
I hope she finds it.
Yeah. And you know what? So, I believe when we hear a prayer, we can choose at that moment to connect our faith to that prayer because I want that same kind of love too. I want that love that fills my soul and my spirit. I want that love that heals, any parts of me that I want that love that heals parts of me that I didn't even know was broken. Mm.
You better preach.
Huh? Yeah, I want that love that is sent from the Most High, and I understand something too. Ben Spencer, that's the one who I got that boo from. I'll never forget him, and I'll really never forget him because he said to me, he said, "Brandon, the kind of love that you're looking for only comes from God." Now, what made that so interesting is I haven't talked to Ben in a long time. This was like 2005, 2006, but um, to my knowledge, Ben was not necessarily a believer. But he knew that. So, in the meantime, while we may not have that kind of love from a partner in life, a life partner, the Most High can be all of that. But he can go on and bless me, you know what I'm saying, with a loving husband. I would much appreciate that whenever in his timing and if that's what I'm supposed to have. On the flip side of it too, I also understand the world that we live in. It's a fallen world. There are many beautiful things in the world, but the Most High told us to come out of the world where He is, right? He exists outside of the world. He said, come out of it. So, we may not experience some of the things that we want in this world. And maybe romantic love could potentially be one of them. And I'm okay with that. I hope that's not true. But I have accepted the reality that we live in, right? I mean, humans are different. I say this when I talk to people, like a lot of gay people grew up under a curse, the curse of not being accepted by their loved ones or their family or their church, and so some of those things, the damage that those things do, sometimes it takes a lifetime for people to get over things. And so sometimes
I was just gonna say that I can say that I'm in that boat. I
Yeah.
think that what I went through in my past, I looked for me coming out as gay after the ridicule I went through as a teenager. I feel that I'm feeling the residual effect. I've been feeling the residual effects of that coming into my adulthood because I am
Mhm.
looking for love in the wrong places. Meaning
Mm.
that I'm very naive to the love I get from someone because I think it's love, but it's actually just lust. And I've went through that. I mean, I haven't really shared this with a lot of people, but I feel that the love that I was looking for, the love that I didn't get from my family when I became an adult and came out as gay, anyone that showed me any kind of kindness, I ran with that and I relied on that. And then I found myself crying all the time because I'm like, well, what? Why do they do me like that? I thought that they liked me. But so the love that I was missing out on from my family, and I'm not shaming my family, but they did not love me the way that I should have been loved because they did not want me to be gay. They wanted me to be a straight male, get married to a woman, have kids, live the life they wanted for me. So I sought love in the wrong people. Anybody that showed any little bit of kindness, I was like, "Ooh, they like me. Ooh, they love me." No, they don't. They just want these cakes. That's what they wanted. And then they got it. Majority of them got it though. And then they ghost me. So just think of someone going through the repetitive ripple effect of that. The majority of adult life. So I had to sit back and say, wait, Andre, what are you doing? Stop deleting the apps, hence me deleting all those apps. I need love on me. I'm not loving myself enough. I'm looking for it in the wrong places. And that's what I've been through in my adult life.
Yeah, and I think that the hardest part is being taught to let alone being so-called Black, and the world that we live in, but we're not taught to love ourselves. And the crazy thing is both of us grew up in the church. And I think that's just kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? And to not love yourself surrounding a big part of your character, but not necessarily your identity. Like, I don't really like labels. You know, sometimes I forget that I'm gay. Like, I feel like I'm just a person. Like, I'm just a man. I'm just, you know what I'm saying? And the way that I share affection with my friends and my loved ones, like I don't even think about that aspect of my identity because I don't think it plays a role, because straight people don't do that. They're not like, hi, my name's Steve and I'm straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't think I'm any different. It's only when I'm treated different then I realize that. But for me, you know, I think what happened with church was the only scripture that stuck out to me for the 11 years when I was trying to pray the gay away from like 18 to 29 was obedience is better than sacrifice. And I knew I was a preacher. Everybody knew I was a preacher in middle school, in high school. They called me preacher man. I was that dude on Sister Act 2, you know, with the hat always dropping the knowledge and all this stuff. Like that was me. And everybody knew it. And so I was like, you know, I'm going to do what I know the Most High told me to do, regardless of me being gay or whatever. So that's kind of how that kind of went. So I guess in a lot of ways, I've had a rebellious attitude in one that like helped me, not rebellious as in rebellion to the things which are good, but rebellion to which the things like, you know, you a sinner because you gay, or you this and you need to change and all this stuff. And you need to pray about that homosexual spirit and this and that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I rebelled against those things to the best of my ability at the time until I reached a point where I realized like the Most High never told me that nothing was wrong with me. I even fell in love during that time. I think I was 23, the first time I fell in love, while still trying to change. And I did leave him because I was supposed to be married to a woman and all that stuff. I did in that relationship, but then we got back together about like 6 years later. But he wasn't that same person, so that definitely didn't work out. But I did try. And because it was an amazing like 6 months. Like he was a vegetarian chef, so he could cook his face off. And like it was probably the most perfect relationship I had ever been in. Like we had a little spot that like he would sit in this spot and then I would like sit in my spot. And that was like where we would talk. You know what I mean? Like everything just flowed. It was just like he didn't drive, so he would like catch the bus to my house and then like cook me dinner by the time I got home. And I was a recruiter, so I was working long hours sometimes. And like he would be at my house. Like it was an amazing relationship. Sometimes, I don't live in the regrets or what ifs because we only do our best with the information that we had at the time. But sometimes I guess I could wonder what would things have been like if I never ended that relationship? Like, would we still be together almost going 20 years? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, just imagine like and that's my point about the whole, that's why I use the word curse, that gay people grew up under a curse. And the reason, like, because that word carries weight. I love words. The English language is sometimes lazy. Sometimes I wish I spoke like Hebrew or these other languages, which the words formed together carry so much weight. But the word curse carries a lot of weight. A curse affects everything, how you think, how you live your life. And yeah, so I think now we are in a position to live differently. And I think all praise to the Most High for that, that we can be authentically ourselves during this time. And you know what? Like at all costs, right? Because it ain't always been easy. I still face discrimination. Andre, like I'm gonna call you out, but not really. So I'm just gonna say it. Like you're feminine. You would be seen as feminine, but you are still authentically you, and you own it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to me, that is something respectable, to be authentically who you are, because to try to be somebody else, that takes way too much energy. And then guess what? You may not achieve what you could have achieved if you just been yourself in the first place.
Yeah, and I used to, even with my femininity, I went through these phases of like, well, shoot, ain't nobody gonna want me because I'm too feminine. So like, these guys would get with me, get what they wanted out of me sexually, and they'd be like, well, you're too soft, you're too feminine. That's what Garrett, oh Lord, I put his name out there.
We need to get offline, huh? Look, hey, this is uncensored. Uncensored political show.
Y'all didn't hear that name, but wow, I just put his name all the way out there. So that was what that individual, I won't repeat it again, but that's what that individual told me when I went to go see him, that he was interested in me. He wanted to date me, but he didn't do it because his parents said, well, I accept you being gay, but you better not bring no sissy home to introduce. They need to be a man. Don't be bringing no soft man home. But so he was conflicted with me because he was like, Andre, you're so amazing. But and he never told me until years later when I saw him in April or May when I went to go up there to see him. But yeah, he shared that. So, for me, it's like, wow. So I had people that actually wanted to be in a relationship with me, but because of how I carried myself. So those things like that, yeah, that stings.
Can I add a little bit? Can I put that just one piece in there that's kind of important? That doesn't excuse the situation, but I'm learning something. Explanations are worth something, because also in connection with his parents saying you better not bring no sissy home, there's another aspect which I believe was included in it, and I brought it up to you at that time, and that is that his inheritance is connected to who he's with, or his parents' approval of who he's with.
Yes.
Can I get an amen? So it's not an excuse. And that's his loss, but it is an explanation, and explanations are worth something. Explanations are information.
I got my closure in that, but at the end of the day, it stung because I'm like, yeah, we could have been in a long lasting, almost decade relationship if you wouldn't have had that thought process. But you were fed that from your parents and you obeyed it and you listened to it, and it has affected any relationship that he's in. But he's in a relationship now, with someone. So,
yeah.
I was gonna throw shade, but I'm not.
Yeah,
But
and you know what? And you dodged a bullet. Like you dodged a bullet because you don't need somebody like that. And you know what? If the person really doesn't want to be with you if they're not with you.
Ooh, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Right.
So with that said, that's the reason why it stung when I first heard it, but I was like, I appreciate the closure because now I know what I deserve and who's rooting for me and will stand by my side, regardless of how I'm carrying myself or how it just blows my mind, but it is what it is. But this is all with this self-love journey. I'll be honest, this self-love journey has definitely been a roller coaster of ups and downs for me. Yes, it's been great. These last 7 months have been great where I have not been on no dating app. I'm not on the Grinder. Yep. I'm not on Tinder or Bumble. I'm not on any dating app. And it's been so good, but it has had its ups. Way more ups than downs, but the downs definitely get to me because I'm like, yes, I do want to cuddle up with someone. I do want that closeness, but at times. But I know that this break that I'm taking on those apps, I'm gonna go back to them. Maybe not Grindr, but I'm gonna go back to the dating apps. It's just not right now. I'm on a pause right now from it. So.
And I think that's great. Having knowing what you need to do and doing what you need to do is a very powerful thing. Knowing it and then doing it and then following through with it. And then I feel like we talk about this often, and I think talking about what your plan is with your close friends kind of helps. It helps you stay true to what your plan is. And I think it's a good thing. And then sometimes other people's experiences will make sure that you stick with your plan. So, yeah.
So yeah.
I feel like that's all I had. And we did figure it out. Now I know how to do it now.
You know how to do it now. So we can look at videos with the rest of the audience. So the two of you that are on here with us, thank you for watching. Y'all probably just in the bed watching, not saying nothing. It's fine because it's bedtime. It is 1 o'clock.
I'm sleepy now too.
Yawned on live, so it's definitely time to go. But yeah, we thank you for watching. We just wanted to come back to show that Wendy and Tabitha clip. So that's it. That's all I got.
And then Andre poured out his heart and soul.
I did. I poured out.
Said somebody's name on live. All right. Well,
they don't follow the show, so we're good.
Okay. Well, thank you all for tuning in. This is the Vibe-litical Show. If it's your first time here, we did a pop-up earlier, pop-up number 10. On pop-up days, we don't really have a particular topic. We just talk about current events and what we kind of think about those things. You're always invited to join the conversation and share your perspective, even if it's different than ours. We do appreciate other people's perspectives, as long as we remain, respectful and all that towards one another. And then we usually have our topic shows on Sunday afternoons or Sunday evenings. And we always promote the show. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're on Twitch. There's a Vibe-litical Instagram. We just got vibeliticalshow.com up and running now. So you can find us on all social media platforms. And if there's one we're not on, then, let us know. We'll get on that one too. So you all have a great evening. And we shall see you in the next one.
Bye, y'all.